Welcome back to Leeds Student Television. The government recently announced a rise in tuition fees, which will see them rise in line with inflation. The move sees the rise of tuition fees increasing by £285 from April 2025, the first rise in 8 years. With the Labour government also promising a rise to the maintenance loan, what do students really think about their plans?
I don't love it. I don't think it's very fair. I mean, we're graduating, but I don't think it's fair for future students.
I think sometimes we already feel like we're not getting a lot for our money, so upping it's kind of crazy.
It's a bit, it's not ideal to be fair. There's a lot of people in the world who can't afford them already, so for them to increase it is obviously not ideal for those people. But I don't know why they did it to be fair, but yeah.
And they've also said that they're going to rise the maintenance loans in line with inflation. What's your reaction to that?
Well, obviously they've got to do that, innit? Because if you're not going to do that, then people are going to be pretty screwed. But it just means that I think a lot of people have a lot more debt in the future, which obviously is never a good thing. So
£400?
Because the minimum already doesn't cover rent, so I don't know what £400 is going to do.
That's not going to do anything.
Yeah, no, that's
literally
ridiculous.
What would you like to see the university or government do to support students more?
At least reduce the tuition fees, because that will really help us, or provide us with better scholarships, because I think there's a limit to the scholarships as well. So if you provide us with better scholarships, then we can get access to it.
The move comes after calls from universities to solve the funding crisis in the higher education sector. To understand more about the impact this will have on students, I sat down with Lucy Hart, Leeds University Union's Union Affairs and Communications Officer.
I was really surprised, and I was sat in my office checking the news to see if there were any updates every 5 seconds. I was obviously disappointed to see that fees have gone up. I think it's going to have a real effect on students, particularly with the impact of cost of living already, particularly for students from lower income backgrounds. I think it will have a real impact on other students coming from other widening participation backgrounds in the future.
And the government has also announced that they're going to look to increase maintenance loans as well in line with inflation, an increase of £414 a year. Is this something you welcome?
I'm happy to see that maintenance loans have gone up with tuition fees and with inflation. It would have been ridiculous to increase tuition fees without increasing maintenance loans. But my main concern is the anxiety that will put on students, particularly new students, joining the university, because obviously they are now going to have even more debt to pay off.
In a statement, Alex Stanley, NUS Vice President Higher Education, said, "Students are being asked to foot the bill to literally keep the lights and heating on in their uni buildings and prevent their courses from closing down. This is, and can only ever be, a sticking plaster. Universities cannot continue to be funded by an ever-increasing burden of debt on students." With the higher education sector on its knees, it is clear that something needs to change in order for universities to stay afloat. But whether that should be the responsibility of students to foot the bill remains to be seen. Matty Fisher, LSTV News.